Welcome back, everyone. Guys, the United Kingdom is collapsing right in front of our eyes. Just been camping, I've got back, I've switched on the, I've switched on the internet and all sorts of wild stuff's happening. Guys, what I'm going to talk about now, it's one of those very delicate subjects, so I'm just going to be excuse me. I'm just going to be objective with this. I'm going to read you I'm going to read you headlines about each incident, and then I'm going to tell you what our adversaries, our international adversaries, how they will be reacting to these incidents. So, civil unrest in the UK, guys, it's coming. In fact, it's not coming. It's here now. What you can expect is escalations. I don't see how these things can de-escalate at the moment. So we've got the soldier that was stabbed in Kent. You've got the Manchester airport incident. I'll talk about that briefly in a moment. We've got the Rochdale police station protests. We've got this guy, Andrim Chowdhury, arrested. And we've also got the Leeds riots, where I think this is where it all started. Now, so let's talk about the Leeds riots then. What did anybody that's in this country who doesn't want to be in this country, who's only here because, I don't know, political reasons, financial reasons, who don't subscribe to British culture, this is what they will have seen. They will have seen that mob rule works in the context that if there's more people, throwing things at the police will run away. You can't argue with that. That's what really happened. And these people will have been emboldened by this. Now, whether that's right or wrong, it is what it is. I'm not going to say it's right or wrong, but people will be emboldened by that, and then they're going to push things even further. So that's what happened in the Leeds riots. Now, keep that in the back of your mind and set that as the context for the rest of this video. Now, the incident in Manchester, as I understand it, and I may be wrong, but it was involving police officers were assaulted, and then the armed police were called. And what you saw on the video was in response to the assault. There was a female officer who apparently had a nose broken, and two other officers, have had to go to hospital. I don't know why they started. I don't know anything, about the pretext. I'm just going to talk about the video, what we saw. So we saw an edit of a video. We've seen an edit of a video that's going viral. It's probably getting millions of views at the moment, where a police officer kicks what looks to be an unarmed man who's on the floor in the head. Now, my first questions were, what's the context? How many times, has that person got up before and threatened people? Has he tried to take weapons? Was he armed himself? Has somebody tased him and he's not taken him down? Because sometimes people get tased and they don't go down. So, without knowing the full context, it's it's really difficult to say whether he was in the right or wrong. It doesn't look like he was in the right, but, how do we know what was happening without, seeing what the full incident was? Were the the suspects, were they in the right by breaking a police officer's nose? I doubt that as well. So, guys, so it's really difficult to, identify what happened without understanding the full context. Guys, there are loads of people all over the internet saying things like, the same people who are laughing at the police for running away are now, complaining that the police are being too heavy-handed. There's, I think, Sky News are saying, do we want a police force or a police service? Guys, I don't care about any of that. There's lots of people talking about this. What I want to explain now is what's going to be happening overseas with our adversaries, because they're going to see these little cracks in our society, these cracks in our culture, and they're going to be exploiting them. So let me just read quickly an article from February 23. So remember that guy, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the guy who was he was in charge of Wagner Group, and then he was in an aeroplane and the aeroplane blew up. Apparently, we don't know what happened. I certainly wasn't there, but that's what we're told. He was, like I said, he was the head of Russia's mercenary group, the Wagner Group or the Wagner Group. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is how he started. Well, he used to be a good friend of Vladimir Putin's, and he started with one of these bot farms. Let me just read you this here, guys. So, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the head of Russia's Wagner Group, mercenary group, said on Tuesday that he founded and financed the Internet Research Agency, a company Washington says is a troll farm which meddled in the 2016 US presidential elections. Prigozhin spent years, that's not relevant. So basically what he's saying there is he set up this company called the Internet Research Agency, and that was what does he call it? A troll farm. Now, I call them a bot farm, it's the same thing. So basically in Russia right now you'll have these troll farms, these bot farms, whatever you want to call them. Also other places in the world who will be looking at these incidents and they will be fanning these flames. Now what they do is they'll have, like, each person will have maybe 10 different social media profiles. So each person will have, they'll have a Facebook, they'll have a Twitter account, they'll have, all the social media accounts. They'll have AI generated pictures, and on the face of it, they look like genuine. Genuine profiles. And let's be honest, when we see somebody commenting on a post, do we click on their profile and then try and examine what they've posted and everything else? No, we don't. We just look at the post. So these profiles, each one of these people will be commenting a certain way on certain profiles, certain news articles, and they'll be pushing them into a certain demographic. They'll be pushing these things in people's own languages. There'll be things written in Arabic, there'll be things written in potentially, Romanian, all sorts of this stuff, and this will all get pushed in, and this is done to divide and fracture, and it's to cause civil unrest in these, what we've got now. Don't forget, guys, they'll be doing the same to the opposite side. They do the same to each side. So let's just use this for an example. We've got these incidents here. We've got the got a big Muslim community saying that the police are being racist. On the other side of that, you'll have people fanning the flame saying Muslims are wanting this, Muslims are wanting that. And then on the other side, you'll have people. So you see where I'm going, guys, okay? What they're doing, these bot farms, they're trying to break our society. And guys, it's pretty fractured and it's pretty broken as it is, and it doesn't take much. As we've seen so many times, when these things get traction, it's like a fire. It's like throwing red meat to a pack of wolves or something. They eat it up, and then things just gather pace, and then they happen on their own. So now what you'll start to see is these incidents potentially happen on their own. And also, when these things are happening, these bot farms, these what are they called? Internet research agencies in foreign countries, they can identify people that they could, look and use for, physical attacks. So remember what I've said about these criminal gangs. From these, posts, from what people are saying online, they can then go, hey, do you want to talk in a private chat? And then, you get talking, you form a rapport. Then you say, hey, listen, you know what? Why don't you go and destroy a water station? Why don't you go and do this? Or something a lot worse, guys. It could be something a lot worse. Right now, there's fuel for things that could be done a lot worse. So this is how it starts, and this is how the system moves. And let's not forget that there's this march in London on Saturday, which I believe is the 27th. All this sort of stuff's going to eat into this same narrative, this us and them narrative. And it's breaking society, because we can't agree on things. And then we've got Putin pushing from the east, and we still can't agree on things because a broken country, a fractured country that doesn't agree on anything, they're no threat at all. They can't, they can't provide any threat. They can't provide any resistance. And the sad thing about all of this is we right now in the United Kingdom, we have the potential to be, to lift ourselves up on the world stage and become, to become a global leader again. with the with the resources that have just been found in Antarctica. So the reality is, I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to have more infighting among ourselves. There's going to be and it's just things are just going to get worse and worse and worse until some point we can't we won't be able to send any troops anywhere, because all the troops will be deployed on the streets trying to keep peace, and it's just absolutely terrifying the way things are happening, and it doesn't look like anybody can see what's happening. A lot of these, even the police officers, I think, they don't understand that they're pawns in a game that they don't understand. Anyway, guys, I'm going to try and get another video out later on today about my normal stuff, where it's, about geopolitical events, and I may even do one about life extension. But anyway, guys, I'll speak to you guys later. I'm going to make to grid.